Number 2, Godzilla, King of Monsters. Yep, Godzilla, the King of Monsters is coming back, and, well, of course Bryan Cranston's not going to be in this. In case you're wondering, yes, it is a sequel to the 2014 film. Yes, I did enjoy it a lot, but it did leave a little to be desired, or I should say a lot to be desired for the most part. If you were anticipating more of Godzilla, yes, he should have got more screen time. And that's what I'm hoping more of from this movie, since it is, again, an American adaptation of the monster, but it does look like Godzilla. They're bringing all the big, famous monsters in that are more familiar to die-hard fans, like Mothra, King Ghidorah, and so forth. New actors, you got Ken Watanabe coming back, but this time you got, of course, the actress who, was in the Conjuring movies as Lorraine Warren. You even got the child actress who plays Eleven from Stranger Things, so who knows how this will turn out. This is obviously coming out first, and in case you're wondering, no, King Kong vs. Godzilla is not coming out this year, it's coming out next year. And also, if you're wondering why I didn't put Wonder Woman 1984, the sequel to the first one, that's because, same thing, it was originally supposed to come out this year too as well. But, well, before I get to obviously number 1, a few honorable mentions here and there. Some that I'm still anticipating despite some skepticism that I have on them. Happy Death Day to You. Yeah, that's actually the title of the sequel to the movie, which I thought was a very underrated horror slasher type of movie, Groundhoggish Day type movie. Yeah, it's the only thing you can think about when you take the whole scenario of the day looping over and over again, with the college girl keeps getting killed and obviously has to find her killer. And it was actually a pretty good film. I thought it was very underrated for the most part. The performances were really good and had a pretty good scenario. I think it was obviously self-aware, being that they mentioned Groundhog Day in the film, and it's not the first film to do so. There's other ones that were pretty good, like this one and a few others, and some that were just blatant copycats. So, not too sure what to think of the sequel. I feel like they're going to drag it out and kind of ruin it, kind of like Quiet Place 2 might. Who knows? It could be good, but all I know is I know for sure this is not going to be anything as good as the first one, but I'll probably be there to see it anyway. So, who knows? Prove me wrong, but I guess that's why it's an honorable mention. Terminator reboot. Yeah, this is, well, it's supposed to be a reboot of the Terminator series from where the second one left off. Apparently, all the other sequels, which I didn't mind the third one, not as good as the first two James Cameron masterpieces, but it is still pretty enjoyable. And I know the fourth one and Genesis weren't a favorite of a lot of people. And because the fifth one, Genesis, which was supposed to start up another franchise entirely, failed at the box office, yep, that's the whole reason why they're just rebooting it from here on. And James Cameron is thankfully going to have some involvement with it, which I thought he was going to be the director, but he's just going to be the producer this time. It's going to be a different director, so not going to expect a lot, but who knows. With Arnold Schwarzenegger returning and even Linda Hamilton returning, who knows? Despite, they are pretty old for the most part, and I don't know if it's really going to be back to full form like the first two films were, but who knows. You can either like it or terminate it. It's your decision whether you're going to see it or not. Wicked. Yes, believe it or not, people, the Broadway play, which is the prequel story about the Wicked Witch trying to show her true good side, is getting a movie adaptation. I'm a little skeptical on this. Sometimes, when it starts out as a Broadway show and then goes to a, theatrically released movie, it works. Sometimes it doesn't. I'm keeping faith on this one. I saw that on Broadway in New York City, and it was spectacular. So, let's hope for the best out of this one. Let's hope it'll be a wicked awesome time. Sonic the Hedgehog the movie. Yes, I love the video game franchise. I love the great games, the good ones that are playable. I know Sonic has had a lot of crappy games, and this movie has gotten a lot of criticism, even judging by some of the leaked photos and even the posters. That I did see one at AMC Lowe's, and casting Jim Carrey as the main villain, Dr. Robotnik or Eggman, whatever you call him. Yeah, not really the best choice so far, but who knows what he can do. He hasn't really starred in a lot over the years. His last couple of movies that he's been in, he's kind of really lost his touch over the years. But who knows how this will turn out. I know video game movies don't really have a good track record, so not expecting a lot, but who knows how this will turn out. Dumbo. Yes. I'm very skeptical on this one, as opposed to The Lion King, which I'm anticipating, because I love the original animated film. It's both great, it's both funny, and it's really heartbreaking too as well at the same time. It's the perfect Disney animated film. I was really skeptical, especially hearing that Tim Burton is going to direct this, and the trailer doesn't look terribly bad, but I don't know. I'm still a little skeptical on how Tim Burton, is going to interpret his version of it, because as much as I love Tim Burton with most of his films, his last couple of films over the years have been hit or miss, and when he does remakes especially, yeah, he's definitely at his weak point right there, so who knows how this can turn out. I'm not expecting a lot, but who knows. Hellboy. Yes. It's a reboot. Seriously? But maybe it'll turn out to be good. Maybe it'll turn out to be darker. I didn't mind the first two, and I really was gladly anticipating a third one. I mean, hell, it took 14 years to make Incredibles 2, and it was worth it. So, why not do the same thing with this series? I guess there might have been legal issues or something like that with this comic franchise, and maybe the actors didn't want to come back. Who knows? I know the second one was made by a different studio than the first one. So, unfortunately, it's not going to be a trilogy. It's going to get the Spider-Man treatment right here. Yep. So, who knows how this darker interpretation will turn out to be. Let's hope for the best. Otherwise, you burn in hell. No, kidding. Let's hope for the best out of this. Aladdin. Yes, yet another live-action Disney adaptation of an already great animated film, which got, of course, a few sequels. And the trailer to this does look promising. I'm hoping it ends up like, of course, Jungle Book and all the other great live-action adaptations. Not expecting it to be as good as the original, but it does look like it's going to have the right atmosphere and be on par with the original. But I'm really going to miss Robin Williams. I mean, his death was very saddening for pretty much all of us who are a fan of his work, and his voice talent was just genius in this movie. He's what made these original animated films what they are. Made us laugh so hard. I'm really going to miss him in this movie. But who knows what they'll do with it. I mean, it could work out, maybe not, but all I know is I'm going to miss his genius voice talent as the genie. Are you afraid of the dark? Yes. For most of you who grew up during the 90s and watched classic Nickelodeon from its golden age, this TV show, just like Legends of the Hidden Temple, is getting a movie. I'm not sure if it's going to be direct-to-TV, playing it safe, which is probably not a bad idea. They did the same with the Hey Arnold Jungle movie, or if they're actually going to take the gamble and release it in theaters. Either way, coming out this fall this year, it's going to happen. Yep, so be ready for a good scare, people, because I'll be definitely anticipating this one. Great revisit to my childhood. It's just what I needed. Because Nickelodeon, let's face it, it's just not the same way it used to be anymore. The 90s were the golden age. And the number one movie that I'm most anticipating for 2019? You already know what it is, people. Come on. Yep. Avengers Endgame. Yes. That's the title right there. They kept it hush-hush for a while. I don't know exactly why. But I saw the trailer, and yep, apparently this is how they're going to do it. Originally they were going to do it Avengers Infinity War Part 1 and 2, but they decided to make it Infinity War and keep this title secretly as possible, and then eventually they revealed it with the trailer. Don't know why exactly, but I'm hoping they end it here with Captain Marvel tagging along. It's going to come out obviously a few months after the release of that film. Let's hope they're ready to rise up against Thanos and conquer it all, end it right here. So anyway, that's my most anticipated list of movies that I'm looking forward to for this year. Till next time, people, tune in for part 2, where I talk about video games. Thanks for watching.